Carbon form is every human-made object that is derived from or adopts the values of fossil fuel. For example, my iPhone, which is over there. Hopefully I won't get nervous. I don't have it on me. My iPhone, cryptocurrency, the idea of planned obsolescence, a Boeing 737, the Super Bowl, even a peach, if you're eating it in winter and it had to be grown in a hothouse and transported from many miles away. We're here today to talk about architectural carbon form. Those examples might be an airport, a freeway cloverleaf, any modernist grid that centers the car, a suburban home with a 3-car garage. Carbon form centers the values of the fossil fuel economy, which are speed, efficiency, mobility. Those are okay. But consumption, productivity, and growth for the sake of growth and profit, and those are connected to this idea of an infinite abundance of energy and raw materials, which we know is just not the case and is this road that we're on towards unsustainability. Yeah, so I want to acknowledge a single text that this all came from, and it was coined in 2019, a text from a journal called Log. The title was Overcoming Carbon, issue number 47. And I have to say, that's where that is the term, and I've read this book inside and out. The term itself, not the term, but the idea came when we discovered oil in the ground. So pre-carbon form, it was nomadic and agricultural. It was basically what we could gather and collect in the ground and then burn for fuel. And of course, the oil in the ground that was discovered was much more concentrated and a lot more energy, and also seemed like an endless supply of energy. And this was the beginning of this period of energy abundance that we're in now, and also the start of the Industrial Revolution, which of course yielded all kinds of new urban and building types like factories, warehouses, plants, office parks, apartment buildings, skyscrapers, the suburbs, and so on. It also has allowed us to feed, clothe, and house the growing population of the planet. Okay, hopefully I won't lose anybody. Greenhouse gas emissions, everybody knows what that is. Okay, embodied carbon are the greenhouse gas emissions that it takes to make an object, a material, a building. So from beginning to end. So from extraction, there's energy that is needed to extract the product, the material from the earth. So extraction, production, manufacturing, transportation, installation, maintenance, and finally at the end, it's end of life disposal. And there's also operational carbon, which is that's very simple to understand. It's just the greenhouse gas emissions it takes to operate a building. So the lighting, the heating, and the cooling, and so on and so forth. The thing about those is it's great. They're quantifiable numbers that you can work towards reducing. Carbon form itself is a paradigm. It is the spatial expression of our economy. So it can't be measured. It's more of this mindset that in a lot of ways we're barely aware of, but it basically drives the way we go about our daily lives and how we build the structures to support those systems. Yeah, so I talked about embodied and operational carbon. These are great, but the problem with these is that it makes us think that we can solve all of our problems by just becoming more efficient. And it really takes the focus away from the root of the problem, which is that these urban spatial expressions are of an extractive economy. So I can give an example, net zero. Net zero building is one that generates as much energy as it consumes. So it generates energy by having green energy on site, like wind and solar, and also by designing the buildings itself to be more efficient, like through better insulation, more efficient lighting, passive heating and cooling, things like that. These practices architects have been working towards net zero goals for decades now. And my question is, like, are they really? It's like taking cars off the road. It's getting us somewhere, it's valuable work, but it's not going to get us to where we need to get in time, because we really do need to challenge these expressions of an extractive economy. Solutions, we need more solutions for the climate crisis, right? I'll name a few. The circular design is one. It upends the take, make, waste mantra of the fossil economy. It shows us that we do have limited resources and that we do need to keep things in a closed loop system. This Hula building, adaptive reuse project, they're fantastic. They reuse existing buildings. Projects for adaptation, so for the future of weather extremes, right? I'm thinking of a seawall that the New York City was planning. I was at a conference where the urban planner was talking about this project, and was also very excited that it would yield a certain amount of extra real estate, shoreline real estate, on which housing was already being planned. In my mind, I'm like thinking, that's not going to be affordable housing, right? And so the thing with these climate solutions is that they have to couple looking at these equitable solutions. You have to think about the entire ecosystem and not just the climate-based solution. So if you're still working towards like profit and growth for growth's sake, and even though you're designing a project that is a climate-based solution, you're still not solving for any of it. Yeah, so I'd like to go to Paris, but not in July when the Olympics are happening. Paris has two urban grids, so a pre-carbon urban grid that it was a massive medieval city, and a carbon form grid by a very famous urban designer called George Haussmann. He couldn't tear it all down, and he did tear quite a bit of it down to create these grand boulevards that we know of today, and that big turning circle that we can all visualize in our mind to center the car, right? And recently, the mayor of Paris, working with that, knowing that she couldn't tear this all down, working with that, started to think of more of a strategy to work within those two systems. And she called it the 15-minute city. So breaking up Paris into these nodes where everything that you need to live is within a 15-minute walk or bike ride. So basically sidelining the car and saying, hey, let's slow down, let's focus on community and the connections within these smaller zones. I think we need to look at equitable solutions. We need to listen to those unseen, like the stakeholders that are unseen, that don't have a voice or need their voice uplifted. We need to look at the values that we've been designing with, the carbon form values, and how can we do things differently? Slowing down, doing things locally, focusing community, connecting back to nature, things like that. It changes everything, right? Change is built into our DNA. We change from the day we're born till the day we die, but And we also, as humans, we change everything around us. That's just what we do, and we change our environment, and we've been doing that. And with this energy abundance, we've been doing that quite quickly and in quite major ways. And to me, change is about, and I'm going to do the same thing Nicole said, see change. I mean, you guys are so brilliant, right? You've got to see the change. But you've got to see the change that you've done to date so that you can affect new change. So with this energy abundance, we've been just changing everything, and we've got to understand the implications of that so that we can then, and I really think that you can imagine, if you can imagine a future in great detail, you can then today affect that change to make that future a reality. And I'd like to quote Octavia Butler, Earthseed, everything you touch is change. Everything you change changes you. Change is the final truth. And I think I might have said that a little wrong, but anyways, for me, change is about hope for the future, and that's why it's important. Okay.